Good evening, each and every one of you. We'll go ahead and get started with a day in the life of a developer. Now, I do want you guys to know that just try to take as much note for those of you who like for you, T baby, you are in your personal projects for any day now you would be interviewing. So I want you to keep some of these things in mind. These are just the processes that if you go for an interview and they say, tell me about your day, what you do, that's basically what this is going to be today. I'm not going to work on any Tableau specific, um, but I will show you basically what my day is like working as a Tableau developer. Now, for some of you, I started working as a Tableau developer. For some of you who don't know my story, I started working as a Tableau developer December 2021. I got the offer November. I got interviewed November 11, 2021, and I got the offer November 12, 2021. So, and I was launched in September 20, I believe between 26 to 28 of 2021. I'm not too sure. Then I got the offer a month after. I had like I think I had three major interviews and I had talks with like several recruiters, the fake ones that reach out to you just to get your resumes and the real ones. And if I'm asked, will I do this again? 1,000 times, yes. Will I pick Tableau again? Yes, because I feel like Tableau is the easiest, way easier in my mind to me than SQL. But SQL is the foundation to it. So, anyways, let's get started. So, a day in the life of developer. What is it like for me during the day, like during the week, every day? So, what I have here is just my Mondays and Wednesdays. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Um, I have some videos in there, I have some images in there, and I'm going to explain the images to you because some of those images you probably don't have access to it yet. So when you go for an interview, you're able to at least see what I have and put that in the back of your mind. All right. So let's get started.
I have a question before
Uh-huh.
you start. So you were just telling about fake and the real recruiters, right?
Yes.
So could you tell us how to figure that out? Because I've just started applying, and I've started getting calls from a couple of them. So how do I find out whether they are genuine or fake
I know.
from your
So
experience?
from my experience, if a recruiter calls me and calls me like maybe calls me now and 5 minutes later calls me and then another 5 minutes later calls me again, I know that that's a fake recruiter. Two, if they tell me, hey, there's a job offer I have, can you send me your resume? That's a red flag. I don't send my resume to anyone unless I have spoken or I have seen the job description. And it's not just a job description that they just send, because a lot of them will just send you something in LinkedIn and say, oh, this is the job. I don't respond to them. And if the person is a recruiter, they will communicate back and forth with you and they will tell you, okay, here is the job description. They'll attach a job description for you or to you, excuse me. And you can look at the job description and they will ask you for your resume. Then
Okay,
you can
so
give it.
as of now, most of the time I'm getting calls from recruiters who have seen my profile from LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
So, not that I've applied for any particular job on LinkedIn, but they just see my profile and
Uh-huh.
then they ping me asking for more details. Like, they ask for my the DL copy or the last four digits of SSN. So
Oh no,
I don't
I
know if I
don't.
can share that or um, are they genuine. And one of them even said until I send them those documents, they won't be able to contact the client, that is the hiring manager, and get me the interview slot.
Okay, so honestly, I would say go with your guts, but let me share my LinkedIn real quickly so you can just see it. If they're asking you demanding for a copy of your driver's license, no, I will not send it. Some of them do, but I don't feel comfortable sending it.
Okay, because when she contacted me, she asked all the basic questions like how long have you been working, like how many years of experience you have in SQL and Tableau, and
Uh-huh.
what you were just started explaining, right? How does your day look like in your present project, and how far have you been working with Colaberry and all that they asked. And
Mhm.
then it was the call went on for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then in the
Okay.
end she asked me for details to submit my profile to the hiring manager.
Okay. Did she ask you, did she send you the job description?
Yes, she sent it to my Gmail.
Okay. So she may be real, but if she's asking for your driver's license and the last four digits of your social, I will not send both.
Okay.
I would probably just give her the last four, or I would not give her my driver's license. I'm
Oh, she
sorry.
didn't ask for the driver's license. She asked for the last four digits, and she asked for the legal name as it is on my driver's license. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, your legal name you do have to give them whether they're real or not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can give them your legal name. If she's asking for the last four, sometimes they ask to make sure that nobody else is has submitted you.
Okay. And also,
Yes.
she asked for two professional experiences from Colaberry
Yes.
references.
Yes. You have to give that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So like let me see if I can see. Okay. For example, someone like this, sh- she says, "Oh, I hope this email finds you well. I came across blah blah blah. We're looking for so and so," and she gives me all this. To me, I don't see it as it being right or real. And the reason being that I have someone else who has reached out to me before. This is a different recruiter. She tells me, okay, my name is this. We're looking for someone. She tells me, basically just a snippet of what the role is. And then she tells me to check it out and gives me a link to Delta to check out the position.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gives me an email to schedule an interview.
Okay.
So I went to the website and I do see that there was a position as a data analyst, Delta. So there's a huge difference. And I don't
Okay.
think she asked me for my resume. So I don't think she asked me for my resume on this one. And let me look for another one. So those are things that I look at or look for. Um, let's see. So here's another one that I think is real as well, simply because she did say for me to send her an updated resume, but the first thing she said is, please let me know a time to discuss. And then because I see that roberthalf.com, I can easily go to their website to validate it.
Okay. So basically, if they give out, if they don't hesitate to give out more information, detailed information about themselves and even the opportunity, then most of them would be genuine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for this one, I just don't see it. It just says, hello, I came across. She didn't introduce herself. I don't know where she works. It's not even on her profile. I just see talent search specialist.
Yeah, got it.
So you just have to, honestly, it's hard to tell, but sometimes Those are the things
Okay, okay.
that
Yeah.
you look
Thank you. I'll
for.
keep that in mind. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's get right into it. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. Basically, and I love being a Tableau developer. I can't say that much. I mean, I can't stress it out any more than I am stressing it out. So the first thing I do when I literally roll out of bed on Mondays and Wednesdays is basically I join the company-wide meetings on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 8:45 p.m. I'm sorry, 8:45 a.m. So they basically they take a book called The Company of Owners. It's basically like a motivational meeting where every 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. they just encourage us, hey, these are the type of good people um, that work in a company of owners. There is the Carly, there is the Stacy, and then right after the meeting, I take a break and then I log into the VPN. If you're working remotely or you're working, I'm not sure if you're working in the office, if you have to log into the VPN. But if you're working remotely, then you log in to your VPN and you start your work. It's safe. It's best practice because, say, for example, my internet runs out. I can go to Starbucks and work from there, connecting to the VPN. So the data is safe because they have a security in place with the VPN. Then I joined the daily scrum for our department at about 9:15 till about 9:45. And then this is basically what my calendar looks like. This should have been the first thing. So if you see it like on Wednesdays, Mondays and Wednesdays, we have a company-wide meeting, and then we have Access Daily Scrum. We have our Scrum on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. We have the Scrum at 9:15 a.m. We used to have like a bi-weekly Tableau, but that got canceled because we don't really need that. And we have at Scrum every single day, 9:15, 9:15, 9:15, unless we're having our weekly release. If we have our weekly release, then it would be like on a Wednesday at 10. I'm sorry, on a Tuesday at 10, like we have on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Access VI Sprint Planning. So that's what my monthly calendar looks like. Now that's automatically set for us. So I don't have to put all that in there.
I have
The
a
only
quick
thing,
question.
yes.
Sorry, this is complete newbie question, but what's a scrum meeting?
So a Scrum meeting is just, I actually have a slide. That's a good question. Let me see if the slide is right there.
If you're going to get to it in a little bit, no worries, I can wait. I just didn't want to miss my chance to ask.
No problem, because that's also important for you. Okay.
Thank you.
So what do we talk about during a Scrum? Each person talks about what they worked on the day before or since the last sprint. So basically, say for example, Lindsay, you and I work today. Okay. Tomorrow morning, we'll have a meeting. In that meeting, the Scrum Master is gonna say, "Hey, good morning. Joe, do you want to start first?" And Joe comes in and says, "Oh, yesterday I did this and this and this." That's it from my end. I don't have any impediment at what my progress is. So, and then it comes to your turn, and then you speak. And then you just basically tell them what you did yesterday, what you had a problem with, what your progress, did you complete your ticket? Are you having problems? And so on and so forth. That's just pretty much what a scrum is. And we have it daily, and then every 2 weeks we have what's called a sprint planning. So what that sprint planning does is everything we've done, we'll sit there and we'll show it. So say, for example, you created a Tableau dashboard for this specific ticket. You would say, okay, since the last sprint, for this sprint, I worked on creating a dashboard, ticket, so and so and so. Then you show them what you did. You show them everything you did, and then you say, that's it from my end. So it's just basically meetings and checkups. In other words, you're giving reports to your manager what you did yesterday.
So kind
And
of
what,
like your collaboration and accountability.
yes, it's an accountability. Yes, it's an accountability method.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we talk about progress, we talk about impediments, we talk about needing to step away for a few hours for an appointment. Pretty much it. We talk about if it's someone's birthday, we say, oh, happy birthday, so and so, and oh, this person's leaving. We talk about pretty much everything. But mostly what the sprint is about is your progress, what you did yesterday. So once we are done with the scrum, if it's not a sprint review, then we get to work. So what I do is I look into Jira. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Jira. It's our ticketing system. It's kind of like Basecamp, okay? And I have a screenshot of what Jira looks like. So this is a snapshot of what Jira looks like, but I'll go to the next screen so you can see the bigger picture. So this is Jira. These are all my coworkers, and you can see my name is grayed out because I clicked on my ticketing system. So these are my front end developers, like the back end developers, C# engineers. Her, myself, him, we are the Tableau developers. We used to be 7, now we're down to 4. Okay, and these 1, 2, 3, those are our SQL team. This is the data analyst, the senior data analyst, and this is our Scrum Master. So when you click on your name, you see all the tickets that you created, all the tickets that have been assigned to you that you need to work on. Okay, so this is the current sprint. As you can see, spring August 15 through 29. So in this sprint, when I initially started this sprint, I had these 4 tickets. These are carryover tickets. Okay, so I can do something with the last ticket, but I haven't had the chance to do it. But in the process of me working, I had more requests. So I had to add these to the tickets. So I had to create these tickets myself. Typically, you can have your Scrum Master create the ticket. But for me, I just don't like to burden people too much. In some cases, I will tell her to create the ticket. And in some cases, I just create my tickets. So these are the ticket numbers. When you click on the ticket numbers, it opens a little space here for you to put an estimate. So 1 means like it's not going to take a lot of time. Maybe it's a really quick one. 3 means that's also a quick one, not too hard. 5 means it's going to take more than a quick one for sure. And then sometimes you have 8. That's like that's going to take quite a while. It could take about 2 weeks. It could take a month. And then I think they have 13. I've only seen 113. That would take a long time. That's how much you're estimating. So as you go along, you can either bring it down to a 3 or bring it down to a 1, or if you're done, you can make it a 0. Most times I
So,
don't remember.
yeah, I have a question. So, are these tickets similar to the stories?
Yes, these are tickets relating to, these are stories. I think stories in a sprint. So
Okay.
our sprint period is from August 15 to August 29. Let me see. That's 2 weeks, right? August 15 to, yes. So that's 2 weeks. So these are the stories that I'm supposedly supposed to complete within this sprint. Okay?
And those numbers that you were just explaining, that 1, 3, did you Did you assign that number when you were creating the ticket?
Yes, I assign that number.
So
Sometimes,
that is your estimate of how difficult the task is.
yes. Yes, sometimes they will assign the number to you, but sometimes you have to assign it. As you can see, some of them, some of them, I don't have numbers assigned. I get lazy and I'm just focused on trying to get the work done. But I would just say you should just put how long you think it's going to take you on there. If you think it's going to be tough, it's better for you to put 8 on there and it take you 3 minute, 3, and it be on a level 3, than for you to put a 3 and it's supposed to be on level 13 or level 8.
So one means you have to finish it within a day. How's that
No,
work?
no, no. One is just the level of difficulty. So one means it's super easy. You can get it done quickly. 3 means it's also easy. You can get it done quick.
How quick? Like the quick is like a day, 2 days, a week?
Not a week. For 1 and 3, I would say a day to 2 days. 5, I would say like maybe 1 to 3 days. Like 8, I can say like 2 weeks or even longer. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Questions? Okay. So I have a section for hold the blog. These are other tickets that were given to me months ago, but is on hold because we have other urgent tickets. Once those tickets are cleared out, these may come back up. So if you look at it, it tells you the ticket number here. Our group name is Busa. This is a type of ticket. Analyze HHRG report. Like this report right now is already archived because it's already been done. It's just a duplicate ticket. Fix the look on palliative portal dashboard, which is an example that I will show you guys at the end. So it tells you when you click on it, I don't have a screenshot of that. It will open up a little thing on the right side and you can click on that and it can give you details and screenshots if there are screenshots in there. But the tickets I have this ranked, I don't have screenshots because I created those tickets myself. So I know what I need to do and I'm just doing it. But if it's a brand new ticket where the Scrum Master spoke with the the client, and she's gotten like screenshots, attachments, list of things that needs to be done, it's gonna be in the details of the ticket. So all you have to do, because this is blue, you just click on it and then click on it again here, and it'll show you everything you need to do in the particular ticket. So this is what a Jira looks like.
So you would be working on multiple dashboards at the same time, right? It's not that you'll be working only on a particular one.
It's up to you. Sometimes I work on multiple dashboards, sometimes I work on just one.
Okay.
For me, personally, I like to work on one at a time during the day. Sometimes you work on
No, I
one.
didn't mean in a day, but at any given point of time, like for this particular sprint, all these tickets, do they all represent the work to be done for a particular dashboard?
So each one is a different dashboard. So it's a work
That's
to
what I
be
meant. Yeah,
done per dashboard. So this is a dashboard, it's a dashboard. They're all different dashboards.
got it.
Okay. So once I go in there, then I check my Outlook email. Of course, you want to check your email. I check for the following. I check to see if the vice president has an urgent request. Typically, he'll come to me. I am not the senior Tableau developer. I assume the role with not the title or the pay, but that's beside the point. Then I check if the senior director has an urgent request for me. I check if my manager has an urgent request for me. If we have refresh failures, because yes, you do get refresh failures. One time it was so bad, we were getting like 50 to 100 failures a day. And what that failure is basically meaning that the extract that we published into the server is not refreshing. So the client is not getting the most recent report, is not getting the most recent data. The most recent data is not being sent into the report. So the report is probably like a day old. So in that case, we don't have it as much, but we still do. In that case, we have to go in and manually refresh it in the server. I don't have a picture for that. And then if we have like pending interviews, it's scheduled for me, but I'll just go ahead and accept that interview, and put that to make sure that my calendar, it has that on there. So then I go again, go into Jira to see, I can either continue working on the ticket I've already started, or I can pick a new ticket, or I created a new ticket based on the company requirement or a bug that I fixed. So what is a bug? A bug is just, okay, you created a calculation, and maybe you're supposed to put less than or equal to get the full result, and you put less than. So instead of getting 100, you're getting 99. So all you have to do is go in and just put the equal to sign. That's what we call a bug. Okay. So if I see that the number is not matching, or someone catches that the number is not matching, and I fix it, once I fix it, because for some reason I act as a senior Tableau developer. So once I fix the bug, I just give it to the other Tableau developers to just copy whatever change fixes I've made to the other clients. We have about 300 clients. So they go in and they fix it. I also fix some because it's a lot of clients. Then either I work on that ticket, just go ahead and apply it to all the other clients, or I assign a team member to work on that ticket. I open a ticket to see, just like I was explaining to you in Jira, to see what the business requirements are. Then I go into MySQL to see what tables I can get my data from. So you get a business requirement, like if you're in your personal project. But before your personal projects, you had assignments. Those assignments are basically business requirements. They're telling you to create a report. In order for you to create a report, you need to know what data source you're going to go to try to create the report. You can't just start creating a report without going into your data source, going into your data, knowing where to go, knowing what data to use, knowing what tables to use, knowing what columns to use, knowing what calculated fields to use. So you have to go into your data. That could take you half a day, depending on how big your data is. Okay, so this is where I go into. I use MySQL. Now, don't panic. I know we use SQL, MySQL, Oracle database. Their scripts are all similar. There are differences in there, but the differences are not so much so that you get scared if you're getting a job or going for an interview, and the job is requiring that SQL, MySQL instead of SQL, or it's requiring you to know Oracle instead of SQL. I will not even panic. Speak on the SQL. Okay? So I have a video of like basically how I get
think
in.
the basic concept and the queries remain the same except for some minor changes when we write the queries, I guess, right? So most of the things are the same.
Yes, they are. And you know something? You can go to ChatGPT and get your queries.
Yeah.
You can build on what you get from ChatGPT. But for me, I am so blessed that we actually have SQL developers, and I have a senior data analyst. I and her work so closely that if I need a SQL query, I don't even go to the SQL developers. I just go to her and I say, hey, can you help me? I have gotten so lazy in writing SQL. I would not encourage any one of you to do that. Keep working on your SQL. I don't even know how to write SQL queries anymore. That's how bad it is. But anyways, these are the
I
connections.
have one more question.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you develop dashboards now, the data so that you connect to, do you use more of Excel, or what kind of data source do you connect to generally?
Good question. We connect to MySQL.
Okay, because
So this,
the project that I have done, or like more like how most of us have done in CAP Tier 2, we usually connect to Excel sheet, right?
yes,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I have a screenshot of that for you, and I'll show it to you
Yeah, I know
because
from that initial page, I need to select that in under the server, I need to select the SQL option, but then after that, I don't know how it goes from there. So
yes, and I'll show that to you.
yeah,
So
because I was just seeing the frequently asked questions, and most of them had asked, what different kind of sources have you worked on, like, or have you connected to using Tableau?
yeah, so you can tell them you've connected to Excel, you've connected to SQL.
Okay.
So it's the same. If you can connect to Excel, you can connect to MySQL. You can connect to SQL. You can connect to Oracle. You can connect to basically the different types of data sources that are in Tableau.
Okay.
The only thing is the desktop copy you have is slightly different from the desktop copy you'll have when you work, which I will show to you guys in this picture as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so these are the connections that I have. Like when I got in there, they give me the IP address or the name of the data source that I need to have, or the data warehouse, excuse me. So I just click add and I put in the name, I put in the data source, a data warehouse, I keep mixing them up, and then I put in the username and the password, and then it saves it as these blocks. So each one has something different. So this video is gonna show you, like when you click on one, what happens. So this is one of the queries that I'm gonna say I wrote, but I probably didn't write it. But it's one of the queries I used to create a report. Or maybe it's possible that I wrote it. I don't remember. But yes, so these are the different, I know you can't see it, but these are the different data sources. These are the different data sources. So see how we have a whole bunch of data sources? So these are the whole bunch of data sources that we have. I can click to one of them. When I want to connect, I'm not sure. I think you asked me that question. If I want to connect, I copy the name and I just paste it here and I copy the name and I put it inside. Once I connect to Tableau, I connect using that name, but I will show you a picture. So as you can see, this is basically just like SQL. A few things are different, like we use current date. I think we use today in SQL. I haven't used SQL in a long time, so I don't remember, but it's similar. The good thing about this one is whatever query you write and I close it, I still save it. I don't remember how many months ago I wrote these. MySQL will save it for you. The select statement, you don't have to write it. You can just right click on the specific, like when you open this, the tables are in there. You can right click on the table and it'll write, and then you can ask it to create a select statement. You can ask it to create certain types of statement and it'll write the statement for you. I don't think SQL does that.
So this
So
MySQL workbench is similar to the management studio that we have worked on. SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS.
No, it's more like SS. Yeah, is it SSMS? Yes, I think it's SSMS. Is it
Yeah,
SSMS?
that graphical user interface that we use to write the queries of SQL.
Yes, that's SSMS. That's to tell you how long I've done that. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's
That's okay.
SSMS.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, let's go to the next one. Once I'm done reviewing my data, I go to work. First, I find a specific data source. That's the one I was showing you that I copy the name. I write a custom SQL query if using more than one table, depending on the business requirement or ask. Okay. Either I connect directly to the data source or I write a basic custom SQL, or I just find somebody to write that SQL for me. So here's a picture of what the Tableau desktop looks like. Let me get to the bigger one. So you were asking how to connect. So this is me. I'm connected to, this is a custom SQL. So I drag this. Do you see where it says new custom SQL? I know it may be hard for you to see, but I drag this pill right here and I drop it here, and it opens up for me to put in my SQL query. After I have connected, I connected here.
So have you already connected to a
Yes. So
database?
right now I am connected to Access data warehouse. So let me open Tableau for you real quickly.
And usually at at work, do people use more of Tableau desktop? Because we have worked only on Tableau public, right?
Yes, we use desktop. So that's why I
Okay.
wanted to show you what the desktop looks like. So that picture is what a desktop looks like. So let me open Tableau. Okay. So it's the same thing that you connect uh, for your connection. So your connection to SQL will be right here. This is the Tableau public, the desktop version. But if you use the actual desktop for the server, your connection will be down here. You see how you connect to a file up here? All the other connections, MySQL, SQL, Oracle, and all the other connections will be here because it says to a server, because you're going to be dealing with servers. Okay, so once you select,
So we should already have a connection established to that particular server to see that here.
yes, so they will
So
do that for you.
okay, the
Yes,
administrators,
yes.
okay.
When you get the job and you come in, they will do that for you. You have to have that connection before you can connect. I don't have any connection here, so I cannot connect. The only thing I can connect to is Google data, old data, web data. But once you
Okay.
have it linked to your server, then you can connect to whatever it is that they use, either SQL or MySQL, or you have a list here.
So if you have connected to a particular database, so you already have a ready SQL query there. That's what you're trying to connect to when you're showing. Before this, you were trying to show us connecting to a SQL thing, SQL
Yes.
query.
So, yeah, over here, no, not a query, a database. I'm connecting to a specific data source.
Yeah, not here, not here. Before, prior to this, you were showing us the um, Tableau page, right?
Yes. Okay, I can show that again. Okay. So
Yes.
once I pass
Here,
that blue screen,
it says custom SQL query. So, do we write the SQL query here after connecting to the database?
yes. So after
Oh,
connecting, hold on. So after connecting to the database, you can do two things. I can either click one of these and drop it there, and I'm connected to the actual table. Or if you remember on the, let me go back one. Here, if you remember, I said, first I connect to the specific data source. I specify the data source that I want to connect to, or I write a custom SQL. I can do either or. But in this particular example, I have used a query. And in order for you to use a query, if you want to write a custom query, do you see this new custom query right here? Let me turn on the light
Yes,
so you
yes.
can see it. Okay, so what you do over here, is you click and drag, just like you're dragging the tables in Tableau, and you drop it. And then it opens up for you to put your query in there. Now, I don't recommend you writing your query here. I recommend first write your query in your SQL or your MySQL, run it, make sure it runs, copy the query, and then paste it in that sheet that comes up when you drag this, because it opens for you. And then you just drop your query in there. But don't put the semicolon at the end, because then it's going to cry and say there's an error. Okay, for MySQL, I don't know if it works for SQL. I don't think it works for SQL as well.
For
But
SQL, we anyway don't put the semicolon.
yes, so don't put the semicolon. For MySQL, you don't have to. Sometimes we do. So once you copy and drop the custom SQL in here and you click OK, you can either click OK or click preview. But once you click OK, it's going to test your query to make sure that that query is right. If it is not right, it's going to throw an error and you will not be able to close that page. So you have to read that error and figure out what's wrong. Okay? And then when you connect, say you test your query and your query is good, it's going to close and look like this. This is a join, but it's going to close and it's just going to have one ring. This is a join of two custom queries. I know because, I did it. Now, best practice is to use extract. Don't use live. Use extract because it's faster to use extract. Now, you guys know about this extract where you edit and you filter through the extract. This is the extract filter or data source filter. And then you have I think this is a data source filter. Yeah. And this is the extract filter. So best practice is to use the extract filter, but for the data source filter. Because what's happening is this is the first stage. Once you write this query, it's going to go through this first stage. So if you say, okay, I want to exclude year 2022, I only want to see 2023. I come in here and I click edit and I add, and it's going to tell me, it's going to give me a list of the different columns that I want to exclude on. And I'll click on it and it'll give me the option, year 2022 exclude. So you want to do your exclusion, your data limitation right here. Okay? When you put it here, you can always have it update automatically, update now, or just go right into your sheet. When you're working with a desktop Tableau, this is what it will look like. The one you have for 14 days looks similar to this, but because you don't have a server connection, you won't have the server right here.
The first, like the first time you got hired, did they train you all this thing, or you just have to know?
So typically they're not going to train you. But in my case, yes, they did have a session where they showed us. They did not show us how to connect to the server. They didn't. They expected us to know how to connect. So what So yes and no, they'll train you some, but not on everything. On the connection, I don't think they will. So what I
So
will,
maybe they'll have a session to tell us about their projects, but I don't think they'll train on the Tableau as a tool, right? I think that's what
no,
you
they're
meant.
not going to train you on Tableau as a tool.
Yeah.
They're not. They expect you to know what to do. What I did the first 6 months, and I still do, is if I have a project and I don't know how to do something, I would get my personal laptop and I would go on YouTube and watch it on YouTube and follow step by step. I didn't know how to how to how to have a SQL query connect to a data source that has a SQL query. I didn't know how to do that. So I went on YouTube and I watched it when they asked me to do that. So what they did was they sent me a query and they said, yes, connect to this query and then create a report, create a specific report. So I went on YouTube, typed in how to connect to a SQL data source, and it showed me how to do that. But just so you know, this is when you're connecting to a SQL data source, please remember that this is a new custom SQL. That's what you drag. Sometimes it's easier to just connect. Once you're connected to your data source, your database, just create a custom SQL if you have to do joins. It's easier. Or you can just physically do your joins. That could slow down. Either way, it could be slow. So it's really up to you. All right. Then I start designing, and I have a sample of what we designed in the server. Okay. Here's a sample of what we designed and published to the server's client site. So let me show you the big one. So this is what the dashboard looks like on the client side after we published it to the server. I didn't have to publish anything in the server. That's why I didn't have a video of it. So it's like your basic dashboard, your Tableau public dashboard or Tableau desktop dashboard. There's so many things you cannot do in the server. So you may have to just download the report. So this is what a dashboard looks like after you've done your sheets. Okay, these are the 3 different dashboards in the server. I can either refresh it here, although I've never done that. I can pause it here. I've never done that either. I can create alerts. Say if the number is below a certain number, I want it to send me emails. I can create an alert here. I want it to send someone an email. I can have it generate its own KPI for me with the metrics. I can subscribe anyone to get daily screenshot of this report every day. And I can edit. So you see those tickets that I had on there? One of those tickets was for me to create this banner right here. This is a banner, our banner. To put the banner on this already created report. And then have the filters or parameters. These are filters or parameters right there. And that's basically what I did on one of the tickets. All I did was copy the banner, put it in Paint, make it bigger, drag a container, a vertical container in here, drag an image in there, select the image, fit, and center. Are you guys familiar with how to select an image in Tableau? Yes, no, maybe?
I haven't used Tableau yet, but I've selected images in other programs. So I'm
Okay.
assuming it would be similar.
Yeah,
So by
it should.
image, do you mean the background image for the entire dashboard, or what kind of image?
Yeah, so let me go to, let me see if it's in Tableau Public. I'm not sure. Let's just connect to a file. Connect to Global Superstore. You drag this in. Okay, I don't think this one has it. But let's see. Let's just create something real quickly. Let me drag measure names. Let's just discount, profit, sales quantity, and we can add shipping cost. Click OK and drag measure value. Where's measure value? Okay.
As a Tableau developer, are you expected to even publish the reports, or is there some specialist who will be working on that part?
Oh no, you're expected to publish the report.
Okay.
That's your responsibility. Yes. You have to publish it to the client site. And one thing I'm noticing is that in some places, I think they're not making, I think they have people who write the queries for you. Let's put product subcategory. No, let's put category. Okay. And then let's go to the dashboard. Let's see if we have object image. Okay. So I'm going to put my horizontal container in. Just for the heck of it, let's do automatic. And I'm going to drag my sheet in there. Let me have it fit entire view. Okay. So I want to add an image. I'm going to drag a vertical container. Why can't I see it? Okay, I'm going to drag my vertical container there. Do you see the image? Do you guys see the image right here?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to tell me to choose an image.
Oh yeah, this I think I've done for my dashboard. The title.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done this.
Yes. So I can choose Colaberry if I have that. Okay, I do have it. Let's see. Just so Colaberry. Let's see. Let's just put anyone and then fit and center. Let me put a link on there just for the sake of it. Let me put Colaberry's link. So I want it, when clicked on, I want people to be able to go to Colaberry. And I make sure I fit in center. That's my project. That's fine. We'll just use that. I can put a blank beside it so it looks much more decent. So imagine this is a logo. When I click on it, it takes me to Colaberry. Do you see that? So this is basically pretty much all I did. So I have this band, I have this logo, which I had to put in there. So I took it from our company's website. And I took a screenshot of it, put it on Paint, and just made it bigger so it can be customized to fit the report. So that's what the image is. Okay. Let's go. We were here. So I will say, like, when you're at the when you're in the dashboard, like the desktop that you're working on and you're done, typically when you publish, you want to publish to the dev. So if you look on top of your dashboard, your worksheet, it would say publish. You have publish data source, publish workbook. It depends on what your company does. Excuse me. Typically what I do is I publish the workbook to the server. So once you click publish to the server, it's gonna ask you, so it's gonna automatically connect to your server. Then you have to sign in. Once you sign in, it's gonna tell you to select the specific client site. Do you want to publish to client site A? Do you want to publish to client site B, client site C? So if it's client site B, you select client site B. And then once you select it, you would have an option to either send it to the default folder, which only people in your office will see, or you want to publish it to prod. My recommendation is to never publish to production where everyone can see it, including the clients, until it's been thoroughly vetted. You've had your coworkers review it, you've had your manager review it, you've had everyone approve it. Everyone that needs to review and approve it has approved it. Once you publish it, then it looks like that. Okay?
So the client side A and B, the connections to that is already done, or do you have to do it?
The connections have already been done. Like the server, your Tableau is connected to your data source and is connected to your server. So you have to pick a specific client. In some cases, you're working for your company, so you only have one site to publish to.
Okay.
But in our cases, we have several. This right here is just Access BI Palliative. So this is where I'm publishing to. Access BI Palliative. Now, you may have to create the client site. Unless you have a Tableau admin, you may have to create the site unless you have a Tableau admin. But once you create the site, you will be connected automatically after you create the site. But you have to first select it, of course, before. So it's basically like you're connected to the shell. Think of it as an egg. You're connected to the shell. but the white part of the egg, you have to create it so you can get into the white part. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can brief on how to connect to a client side. I'm not aware of
Yes.
that.
So I can repeat it. So once you're done with your report, let me go back here. Let me see if I have a picture of it. Let's see. So once you're connected to the worksheet, this is your Tableau, right? Do you see the server?
Yes.
So when you click on it, typically you do that on your dashboard because this is the connection screen. This is where you do your connections. But once you do it on your dashboard, you would have something like this called the server. So you will click on the server. The server would tell you to publish workbook or publish data source. So you will select publish workbook. Once you select publish workbook, because your company has already connected your Tableau to your server, it would bring up a small screen with the link of your server, and you just click OK. Once you click OK, it will tell you to sign in. So you have to enter your username and your password. Once you enter your username and your password, then it's going to give you a list of sites. So it's not going to be like www. No, it's going to be company A, company B, company C. So you have to select which company you want to publish that report to. So once you select that company, this report is automatically linked to that company. So you have to go back in there again and click server and then publish workbook. Then once you click publish, it'll ask you, do you want to embed your password? Do you want it to refresh every day? What time do you want it to refresh? It's going to ask you all those questions. You always want to embed your password. You want to allow refreshes every so often. And then you click publish. And then you want to select the folder in which you publish to, because the server has a site and the site has folders. So you want to publish to a default folder until everyone has reviewed it and given you an okay. Then you move it to prod, which is production. Okay, let me see if we can find a video on how to publish to a Tableau server.
Now in the previous video, if you remember, I've shown you some terminologies related to your Tableau online, like what exactly is the project, workbook, views and data sources. Now the same thing, what I'll do is I have created some report or some analysis part in my Tableau desktop. Same thing I want to display, I want to publish into my Tableau online. So how it can be done? So observe here, what I'll be doing is I've already got this default project which was given by Tableau online. Second is tutorials point which I have created. In this, if you see, there's 0 workbooks and there are 0 views. Views are nothing but different sheets which are given, and there are 0 data sources. So what I'll do is from Tableau desktop, I'll export, or I can say as I'll publish, so that it will be visible in this Tableau online itself, in this project, that is tutorials point. Let us see how we can do that. So if you have a Tableau desktop product on your place, which is open here, this is how it is open here. Now the name of this file is Tableau Online Demo. That's a workbook which I have. I want to publish this to the Tableau Online. If you see, there are sheets, subcategory sales, sales trend, sales by order priority, and the dashboard. I want to publish this. If you want to publish this, you have to first sign in to your online account via Tableau desktop. So if you click on this server, and then you can select this option as sign in.
You see the sign
So
in?
if I click on this sign in button, and
Yes.
I'll be getting as server as Tableau Online, you simply have to click on this connect.
Honestly, you can do sign in or just go directly to publish workbook. It'll take you to the same place. And you see the server here? Because he's going into online, yours will have like HTTP www dot, whatever company you're working for. And then you hit connect. So it's going to be just the exact same thing.
Now when you click on this connect, you'll be getting this dialog box asking you for the credentials, your email ID and your password. So I'll enter my email ID and I'll enter my password here. After entering your email ID and password, you can just click on this sign in button. So after you click on this sign in button, what will happen at the bottom place, if you see there's a sign in option, you are signed in as Pawan Lalwani as a user because I've entered the email ID and the password. So that was belonging to this particular person. So that is signed in. Also second method, if you want to check how you're signed in, so you just click on this server drop down, and if you see as
Yes, you see
signed
that
in
link?
as particular person, if you click on this place, you see a sign out as Pawan Lalwani, or if you want to sign in as other user, you can still do that. Now, what is the main job? Why we are learning this? Because if I want to publish this view, this different sheets or the dashboard to my Tableau Online, how do I do that? So for that, you have to click on this server and this place. If you see, there's a publish workbook which is given. So if I click on this publish workbook, I'll be getting a dialog box here. All right. So this dialog box says
So that's the dialog box. It tells you project. It automatically gives you default. And then the name of the dashboard that you connected to, whatever you name your dashboard. And then it'll tell you, do you want to publish the sheets or you want to publish all the sheets and dashboards? So if you have sheets to publish, you select them. But typically what we do here is we select only dashboard. And then there's also one line missing here for the refreshes. So it would say allow refreshes, then you can select the schedule or you can create a schedule. So that's the only thing that's missing here.
publish workbook to Tableau Online. So which project do you want to publish? I have two projects in the online part. So what are the two projects here? Let me take you back again to the Tableau Online. So if I show you this place, it says one is the default project, second is the tutorials point. Now I want to publish into this tutorials point project. So if I go back here in this place, it says default and that's a tutorials point. So I'll select this. What is the name of this book you want to publish? Do you want to give some other name? I'll say as Tableau Online Demo. That should be the same name. I don't want to change anything. So I'll write here some description. This is sales related analysis. I've written some description. If you want to add some tags, why tags are required? Because if some person is searching by some keyword, let's say sales, category, segment, any names if you are giving it, so you can just keep on adding here tags. So I'll add some tag here as my name, enter. I'll type here as sales, enter. I'll type as country, enter. I'll type as demo, enter. Tutorials point, enter. So some keywords I'm giving, some tags I'm giving. So 5 tags. Which sheets do you want to add? Do you want to add all the sheets or some specific sheets? If you see, I have how many 3 sheets and 1 dashboard. If I click on this edit button, if you do not want to add, you can just unselect that and click on this checkbox so it won't be added. And I want everything to be added here, so I'll click outside. What are the permissions you want to give? So I'll say as same as project tutorials point, so I'll not change the permissions. And simply what I'll do is I'll click on this publish thing. So I'll select this option as publish. So if I click on this publish, it will take time depending upon your internet connection, how much time it takes to publish. So if you see here, after it says publish, it will take you to the website online and it shows where it has published. So right now if you see Tableau Online Demo has been published, if I click on this done part, now if you observe here, this is Tableau Online Demo. I had 4 different sheets, 3 there were the charts and 1 was the dashboard. If you see, these are the 3 sheets which are given, and that is the 1 dashboard which have been published.
So that's pretty much how you do the publishing to the server. Do you have any questions about that?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Okay, so I know we're almost about time. There is a survey that you do have to fill. So let me get that. I hope this was helpful for you guys.
Yes, it was really helpful, especially for me. I was like need of the hour.
Okay, let me get that link. So if you guys can please complete the survey. Colaberry is wanting you all to complete the survey. So I'm gonna send it in the chat. You guys can complete it all. So if you want, I can continue with the presentation. But if you're good, then you're free to leave because I know it's 9 o'clock and it ends at 9. But the last part is just basically talking about let's see. Just talking about how to close the ticket. So when you're telling people you've done the work, it's been reviewed by your co-workers, supervisors, everything is good, and you've published it, then you close the ticket. So I have a video. So when they ask you what ticketing system have you used, you can say Basecamp, because they do use, some companies use Basecamp. If you're confident with Jira, you can tell them it's Jira, but there are videos out there that would help you. But I'll show you how to close the ticket. Please note, this is very important. When you're in an interview, you want to tell them that before you deploy to a prod or publish to a server, you want to make sure that you validated your values in Tableau with the data in the backend. Sometimes when you do your joins in Tableau, it duplicates your values, or it gives you wrong values, or it doesn't, depending on what type of joins you do, it doesn't move all the data. So you want to make sure after you write your query, you want to validate your data with your backend data, which is MySQL, SQL, Oracle, whatever tool you're using. And then you want to validate it with the UI, which is the front end, the user interface. So we have, like our company, we have a user site that the user goes to. They have their software. So we go into their software that they have and we compare what's in their software with what we have, because they impute their values in the software. Once they impute it, we get it. That's the data that we pull into MySQL. They use there's a C# and all that, C+ or whatever it is that they use, and they bring it in to the back end. But I can go to the actual client app and see if the numbers are matching. So you want to make sure you do that. And again, it is really important to have your coworkers, especially if you just started, review your report before you publish it. It is important because you don't want to give your clients a false report. And just know that with the QA process, it's a lot of back and forth. For example, today I had updated about 20 dashboards or more. Then my boss comes back and says, I know you've worked on it, but can you do it a different way? And we've been going back and forth, just like Ali does in Basecamp. It's exactly the same thing you're going to go through at work. Okay? There's going to be a back and forth between you and your coworkers, back and forth between you and your senior Tableau developers, back and forth between you and your manager until the project owner, because in this case, you're probably not going to report to the client. You're probably going to report to your supervisor or your manager. then your manager is gonna, once you're done, then your manager will let the client know that, hey, we have a report in your server already. You can check it out. Okay, and it's really, again, it's really important to make sure you validate your data before it's moved to prod. So once you do this process, then there's a less likely chance of you giving them a false data. Now, will there be a bug here and there? Yes, there's going to be a bug where maybe you didn't put an equal to sign, or you didn't put a less than sign, or something. Then you have to go in and fix it. Okay. So this is basically how you close a ticket in Jira. I don't know if I have a bigger view, but see that workflow? Usually I had already halfway closed the ticket before recording it. But usually when you go to the workflow, before you go to the workflow, this would say, instead of it saying deployed, it would say gathering information. So you have to go to the workflow and click in progress. And then when you click in progress, this is going to say in progress. Then once you're doing it and you've completed the dashboard and and you're done with what you need to do, then you come back to the workflow here and you select ready for review. Okay. When you open the ticket, just like I told you before, this is where you'll have like comments, images of what they need you to do, attachments. So this is a clicked ticket. Okay. So once the review has been done, people will make notes, your coworkers will make notes, your managers may make notes on what you need to do. You want to make sure that whatever screenshots, whatever notes that they have here, make sure you go through every single thing and fix it. So once that's done, once the review is completed, then you click deployed. You come back to workflow and click deployed. So once you're in deploy, you have to click again. Remember, we're doing sprints. A sprint stories, we have stories and we have sprint. So our sprint is every 2 weeks, but our dates is divided weekly. I don't know how she does it, but it's 7 days. So you click the date, and we're the front end developer. So I picked August 11th to the 17th because that's when I completed the ticket. And then I come here to the component and I choose weekly release. Okay. Once that's done, then I click resolved. So that's how you complete a ticket. And then I go back and I'm back to all the tickets. Okay. After closing the ticket, I pick another ticket and I continue the process all over again. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I really appreciate you showing us what your daily workflow is like and how to start and collaborate and wrap up projects. Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. I guess she's gone. All right. So if you guys don't have any questions, please complete the survey that Colby sent. And that's it. You guys have a wonderful week and weekend.